the Monster Men.
Happy New Year!
Arg.
Where's the confetti? You know, in my house, confetti was human entrails.
Nice.
It's a bitch to clean up, but that's why I hire somebody.
Yeah, you know, people think you're kidding around, but I've seen your place. He's telling the truth.
I'm not going to pan the camera down to the floor. There's still intestines down here. Intestines. Yes, smelly intestines.
So this is the show one of the shows I look forward to the most that we do every year.
You know what? Me too. This, between the show and putting like the blog post together, because I have, I'm sure you have the same thing. You have a book that you can, as you watch movies throughout the year, you write.
You taught me that.
And then you sit down and order them out. And
a couple of years ago, I'm like going through, I'm like, I don't friggin' remember what I saw. And you're like, I keep a book. I was like, a book?
Yeah.
And now I look at the book and I'm like, oh, damn, I watch a lot of movies.
Isn't it kind of cool? And then you keep your Horror-tober list. So when I was doing some movies this year for Horror-tober, my wife was like, didn't we watch that last year for Horror-tober? And I was like, no, we didn't. And then we looked at the book and I'm like, oh, we did. Oh, let's watch something new.
Well, then I learned, you got to write down the year of the movie so you can get the year's stuff for your recap.
Yep, exactly.
In case you haven't read the titles of everything, people at home, this is our top 13 horror movies of the year. My list, Hunter's list. So that's what we're talking about, if you hadn't already caught on.
We go up 3 more levels.
Days go to 13.
I wonder why we chose 13.
Well, it's funny because last year I was scraping to find 13 movies to put on the list. And this year, I literally, I have notes. I could have had 25 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 2014 was, that was a rough year. Look, Exists, a found footage Bigfoot movie, was my number 1. But this year, oh my God.
Last year, I think we both had movies on our list that the others hadn't seen. And Cheap Thrills you had on your list?
Love Cheap Thrills.
And I was like, yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my God, if I had seen that, that would have been number 2 on my list last year or whatever.
Yeah.
This year, we only took quick looks at each other's lists. So I don't even remember what's on your list for the most part. But I kind of, but I do know that we were just struck by how different our lists are.
I believe how different our lists are. We had a 13 million matching movies.
It's amazing. So I'm looking forward to going back and watching some of the stuff that you liked that I didn't even see, and vice versa, and being like, oh, you know what, you're right.
Well, there's definitely stuff that on your list I never even heard of. So I'm going to have stuff to watch for the rest of the month now.
Yeah. All right. So should we get to it?
Oh my God, I got to pull up my list because I don't remember it. Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm ready. Jack.
All right.
What is your number 13?
My number 13 is a movie called Hidden. And it was a hidden gem, if you will. This movie, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the hunky blonde guy from True Blood, and he's going to be in the new Tarzan movie. And,
is he Tarzan?
He is Tarzan.
Ooh.
It's a family, and they're in a bomb shelter, and there is some sort of zombie-like apocalypse thing happening that they're hiding out from, and there are menacing figures that they're hoping don't get into the bomb shelter.
Right.
I don't want to say too much more, because this movie, when it turns and it goes from yeah, it's a pretty good movie, where's it going, whatever, to, God damn, you got to see this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I just really enjoyed it.
Where did you find it? Is it on Amazon or?
I watched it on Amazon. I pay per view, and actually, I'm glad you asked that because part of my criteria, really, when it comes down to it, it's always how do I feel about the time or money I spent to watch this movie, especially if I paid for it.
Right.
There's so many movies I'm like, I can't believe I freaking paid to see that. This is one that I'm like, oh, worth the money. Really happy I did. I would immediately tell people to watch this movie. And that's really when I had real trouble on my list. I don't know if this is number 13 or number 8.
Right.
Eventually I'm like, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
As
Yeah,
long as,
I just tried to boil it down. I said, like, let me just put the 13 I like the most. The top five was really structured for me,
mhm.
but the rest, they're pretty, well, especially between 6 and 10, they're really interchangeable.
Yeah, it's more like,
They're the movies that gave me joy.
yeah. And the other, I guess, thing we should qualify is there are some movies on here, first of all, that are probably on other top lists you've seen, but there are some that are not what you'd consider classic, just horror movies. There
No.
other
Well, we
kinds
like
of,
everything.
but yeah, there's such crossover that I always feel like there's enough horror in there that whether it's a sci-fi or a western or whatever, when it's got that horror twist, if you're a horror fan, you're gonna like this movie even if it's not just classically a horror movie.
Right. I mean, as much as I love naked boobs and lots of blood, that's, I can enjoy a movie without. In fact, I don't think there's much nudity in any of my movies
Well,
this year.
I will say like a movie that I did not put on my list because I felt it wasn't a horror movie at all, but it's a really good movie. Is The Gift,
Right.
which is a Jason Bateman movie.
Yep. That was
Really good, but it's really just a thriller. I felt like it never crossed the line to horror.
Right.
And so while I recommend that movie, didn't make my list.
I was the same way with Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
Because as much as I love that movie and some of the imagery was horrific, that wasn't a classic horror type movie. That was action,
Yeah, that's just a great action movie.
Yeah. All right, so you ready for my 13?
Yeah.
Here we go, boys and girls. My 13 is an Iranian horror vampire flick called A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. The longest title of any movie, I think, this year.
Yes.
It puts this slow burn. But what it does, it has heavy atmosphere, and it's this vampire chick wandering around at night around the streets of, I don't think, is it Tehran? I don't remember.
It's supposed to be somewhere in Iran.
Yeah, it was made in America, but it's an Iranian horror movie. I loved, you know what it reminded me of? First of all, I love black and white. I think more horror movies need to go to black and white, but it has to be done with somebody who has an appreciation for how the form is done. Mm-hmm. You have to know about lighting and shadowing. And the cinematography is really good in this. It reminded me a lot, I don't know if you ever saw the Western with Johnny Depp called Dead Man.
No, I never saw it.
I think it's a Jim Jarmusch movie, and it's a Western, and through the whole thing, it's kind of like, it's really trippy, and there's some bizarre scenes in there. And this reminded me a lot of that, and that's actually one of my favorite Westerns. So, and I'm not a big vampire guy. I'm surprised this wasn't on your list. So
I got to be honest with you. While I recognize the merit of that movie, I was bored.
Yeah, that's not for everybody. I mean, that movie put my wife to sleep in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love vampires. I don't love all vampire movies, but I'm a completist, so I'm glad I saw it, but it didn't. And it could have been that I just watched it on a night where I was tired, and I wasn't like.
You could be on 5 Red Bulls if it's not hitting your sweet spot, you're not going to dig it. That's why that's not one of the movies I lauded to everybody. You got to watch A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, but it's one of my favorite movies of the year, easily.
Nice. Well, my next movie is
number 12.
Possibly the most complete opposite from A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night as you can get, because this is a loud, colorful, funny movie called Gravy.
Is it like a sequel to Thanksgiving?
James Roday, who's the guy from Psych, directed this movie. One of the McPoyle guys is one of the stars. You get from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, which one? The blonde?
Main kid, the blonde guy. He was in Psych a lot. Sarah Silverman is in this movie. It's a horror comedy. And let me say this. This may be the best year for horror comedy I have ever seen. Because stuff that did not make my list, that I still tell people should go see, I'll mention them later. But there was, even on my list, a lot of the movies, it's not always just like flat out comedy. Some of them are, but what a strong year for anything that had humor.
It seemed like there was a new one every month, and they were good.
So Gravy is about this like Mexican cantina restaurant, whatever, on All Hallows Eve, and the staff is closing up, and these three people in costumes basically trap everybody in, and they're cannibals. And they tie everybody up and then make them like play games against each other to see who's going to get served up next.
Right.
And all kinds of hell breaks loose. It's really funny, but it's brutal too. Like I say, if you're going to watch a cannibal movie, you're thinking, oh, Green Inferno. I say watch this before Green Inferno because it's so entertaining. It gets bloody. And listen, if you like Psych, there's nods to the Psych fan.
Right.
As well. This was one of those ones that I'm like, damn, I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
Crazy. All right. I'm watching that. Should I watch it on a full stomach or empty stomach?
Maybe empty stomach. There's
right.
It's got a generous gore to it.
Nice.
Really good sense of humor and just really good performances. There's a fight scene towards the end that you're going to piss your pants.
Awesome, man. All right, my number 12, because I always have to put an alien movie in my top 13 list. And I watched a lot. I watched, was it Hangar 13 or Hangar 10 and Alien Outpost? I watched everything. Ejecta. Then I almost given up. I was like, I don't think any aliens are going to make the list. And then Orb came along.
Oh.
Orb, I found it on Netflix. Netflix is where I found all my alien movies this year. I guess nobody gives a crap, so Netflix just picks them up for a song. It is a movie. It's about a brother and sister who are kind of schmucks to each other. They have another brother who is a veteran, a war vet, and he's holed up in the family's lake house up in, I think, Maine or someplace. And they're worried about him, and when they get here, he's just crazy. He's circling around Jupiter. He's nuts. And he's telling him that he's got something locked in the basement.
Oh, I saw the trailer for this.
Yeah, and it plays on paranoia. And for most of the movie, you really have no idea what he's talking about or if it's in his head or if it's real. And it really reminded me of the movie Bug with Ashley Judd, which is a great if you love paranoia movies, Bug is one of the best ones ever made. It's almost like it's a single room thing. It's her and her crappy kind of motel room that she lives in. And she meets up with a military guy who thinks that, there's the military's track stuff. They put stuff in his teeth, so he pulls his teeth out and stuff. So this is really similar to that. If you want to see aliens probing and E.T. and lights flashing, you're not going to get it here. So it's the concept of what this might be that really made this movie well. Plus, I just love movies where guys are just so crazy, you start to get unnerved at their insanity.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah, that was a good one.
It's on my Amazon Prime watch list.
Right.
So I'll have to bump it up in the order.
Check out on Netflix, so don't pay for it.
My next movie, I think, is also on your list, but it's you liked it because we did a show about it. Creep.
But I'm a creep.
I'm
a winner.
There was no way I couldn't put this on the list. This was one I struggled as to where it should go because it's not the greatest movie ever, but you have to see this movie, and it sits with you. It never leaves you. And I was like,
no, that's why I put it on my list too.
and Duplass has such a heroic, courageous performance, sitting naked in the tubby time.
You have to pay me a lot of money to do that scene, and that's a movie that he did on his own. Didn't he write and direct that or something?
Yeah, I think him and his brother or something.
Yeah, the Duplaces.
Did you know he's married to the main chick from The League, who's like in the show married to the other guy?
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I was Googling him and like probably looking up what year it came out or whatever. And
right.
When the Google search, one of the options was Mark Duplass' wife. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh my God, he's married to her.
That's kind of like It's Always Sunny, where the waitress is married to Charlie, but everyone else on the show that's with her but him.
And Sweet D's married to Mac in real life.
Yes. I love that
and
show.
Dennis is banging Danny DeVito.
You unzip me! You unzip me! Ah!
human meat. So yeah, creep I had to put on here. I said, how many times did you just say WTF during that movie? You know?
Yeah, it was high up on my list because of two things. It gave me two phrases that you can't get out of your head. And any movie that can do that, stick in your head like that, is worthy of your top three for me.
All right, so what's your number 11?
My number 11 is a movie that another Netflix find. I was like, let's see this. The cover looks cool. Backcountry.
I almost watched that.
Because there were two camping gone wrong movies out this year, but Backcountry is the much better one. And it's basically, it's supposedly they say it's based on true events, and we looked it up immediately after the movie was done. And what it is, it's an amalgam of different things that have happened to people going out camping and encountering giant, angry-ass bears. So it's a husband and wife. Were they boyfriend and girlfriend? I saw it so long ago, I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, they're out in the woods, and literally they are on the run from a bear. Now, I just watched the movie Grizzly from 1977.
Oh, yeah.
This is no Grizzly. This is really, because it seems absolutely plausible and terrifying.
There's a really good bear attack in that movie, isn't there? Like special effects wise.
Excellent. And the ending is, oh my god.
Because I've heard like The Revenant with DiCaprio has an amazing bear scene, and then other people are saying, yeah, but you should see Backcountry.
Yep, I think bears are the new sharks.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in because I had bare feet.
Show's over.
Drops mic.
But that was good. So if you're going to see one camping movie where things go terribly wrong, I think Backcountry is your bet. And it's free on Netflix.
I like that. I'm going to put... There's another one, Preservation or something?
That was the other one.
That's definitely on Netflix.
Yes, it's not as good.
No, maybe that's the one I almost watched.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's nothing. It's because it's so silly, it just draws you out of it. This, I'm like, well, screw it. I am never going camping. Not that I really had an inclination to in the first place.
Yeah, screw camping.
Hello. Cavemen invented fire to get out of camping.
Yeah. God created hotels.
That's right. All right, what's your number 10, man? Now we're at the top 10. This is big time here.
Number 10 is a movie I heard about and was like kind of avoided it for a while. Then I saw it and I was like, oh, damn, I like this movie a lot. Especially it's on Netflix. So the idea of it's just there it's waiting for you with no money down. Right. Let Us Pray, Prey.
Yep.
With the dude from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I like seeing him there.
I call this movie Assault on Precinct 13 meets Event Horizon.
That's perfect. That's a perfect analogy.
And it bumped other movies that I really liked off the list for me because I thought about it and said, I will definitely watch this movie again, and I really got a kick out of it. And I just was like, for me as a horror fan, if we went to the video store and we rented that, I would have been like, yeah, that was good. That was worth...
Look, what you and Jason Brandt both told me to watch it, said the third act is off the hook. And I watched it, and I really, really liked it. I wanted to put it on this list, and I'm just going, I just can't find a place for it right now. It's close. It could have made this list easily.
I bumped other things off that I'm like, nah, did I really like that more than this? But when it really came down to some movies are just like, everybody knows about that movie anyway. But this one, maybe not everybody knows about, and that was it for me. Like I stumbled upon it, and it was like, I'd heard, like some of these ones you're reading good reviews, but you're like, really? And then you watch it like, oh shit, I really should be.
That was good.
So I liked it. Listen, it ain't the greatest movie in the world. But
it was fun.
It's fun, and the third act does go bananas.
Holy cow. It's one of two movies where the third act to me was out of control. One of the other ones is further down my list here. My number 10 is an Austrian movie about bad little kinders called Goodnight Mommy. This is another... Look, it's European. There's subtitles, so put on your glasses, your spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. And it's these two waspish little kids, and they're in this country home, and their mom is a TV star, and she's just gotten some major plastic surgery, so she kind of looks like the mummy, and she doesn't want to be disturbed, so they're kind of like feral children, just running around the woods and streams and stuff by themselves, and they collect hissing cockroaches. They're just bizarre twins. And early on, you suspect something's up with these two kids. And even though I had it figured out probably midway through the first act, it didn't matter because just the performance of these bizarre kids.
You kind of figure out where that's going, but you don't know where it's really going.
Right. You want to see exactly how far they're going to go and what they're going to do. Kind of remind me of like a Lars von Trier movie, which my friend Jens Knoop will get a kick out of that I use that reference.
You are the god-darn king.
I've mentioned Jim Jarmusch and Lars von Trier. I'm out.
I'm not worthy. I'm going
to drop the Skype. It's a really good movie though. Again, it's a slow burn movie, but
now if I remember correctly, I think I saw this and then told you on Twitter that you should watch it.
Yes, you did.
And this movie was on my list. And then I caught up with a few other movies and it got bumped off. It was really hard to bump off because I feel like everybody should see this movie. Kind of like the Babadook last year. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, like it or not, you got to see this movie. If you're a horror fan, you got to be able to be in the conversation. And it really came down to, as I was looking at some other movies, I'm like, I don't know if I'll never watch it again. I'm really glad I did, and I'll talk about it a lot. But it just like when I had to like make a cut, I'm like, if I had a top 20 list, it's on the top 20, but it's not on the top 13.
To me, it was nice to put a European movie on there. I was just giving my props to Austria.
I say USA. Yeah, that is a screwed up movie. You have to see it.
Oh my god.
So I can't argue with you. And like I said, if ever the further we put off doing this show, I change my list every day.
I know. I was doing the same thing. Put that super glue down, Kinder. What's your number 9, brother?
Okay, my number 9.
Number 9.
When you talk about like what are the 10 zombie movies you should see in your lifetime, and you've got the Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead and whatever. This movie is now on the list for me that I would tell people.
Wow.
And when I saw the trailer for it, it looked like a stupid sci-fi channel like reject. That was like, there's no way I'm watching this. And then just like Let Us Pray, I keep reading all these great reviews of it. So one day it's on Netflix. I'm like, all right. And I mean, like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. It's Wyrmwood, Road of the Dead.
But it's written Wyrmwood.
Yeah.
Oh, he's choking to death.
It's described as the Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
I guess it's Australian. It's the zombie plague hits. But I can't even explain it. You can use zombies as fuel in cars. It like supercharges cars.
Bill Nye, the science guy, is in charge of the entire world, and he's found a way to turn zombies into fuel.
There's telepathy. There's
zombie telepathy?
It is a crazy freaking movie. It's funny.
I want to see if you drop dead before this is over. Top 13 list with Grandpa. Have another cool.
I got a chest cold, and so when I laugh, I'm gonna die. I just watched this movie, and it's batshit crazy. And there's a girl in it who's just smoking hot and awesome in it. It's hilarious.
Right.
It's original. I had such a good time watching this movie. It's like a low budget, balls to the wall. Let's just throw it all out there and have a good time movie. That I'm like, oh my God. You and I talk about how tired the zombie genre is.
Right.
Then something like this, I'm like, yes, go for it. Cheers to you. And listen, somebody's going to say to me, how could you put that above Goodnight Mommy? But listen, we're talking horror movies. The bottom line is, if I tell you to watch it and you watch it and you enjoy it, you're like, oh, dude, thanks, because it's so hard to find. And listen, some people can be like, that was the dumbest movie I ever saw. Hands up, it could be. I had a blast watching it. And so I was like, you know what? Like I said, I sat back afterwards and was like, I will watch this movie again and again and again.
Yeah, I gotta watch it still. It's on the list because it's not a queue anymore. It's on the list.
All right, number 9.
Speaking of on the list, I saw this movie Almost Mercy, and I kept going through it, and it said, "Oh, it's starring Billy Moseley from Devil's Rejects and Kane Hodder."
Oh, Hodder!
And I'm thinking, "Oh, Kane Hodder, his movies suck." And so let me just try it one day. Let me tell you, they are very minor parts. Billy Moseley plays a priest, and Kane Hodder plays a douchebag gym coach. It really centers around this relationship between this teenage boy and girl who are complete outcasts. And he is the kid who you go, oh, he is destined to be the school shooter, without a doubt. And it's their relationship and it's kind of a revenge flick. It's fucking, oh, whoops, I said a bad word. It's funny as hell. I mean, they are so sarcastic. And that's another one where the third act goes to a place where you did not see coming.
Oh,
and for a movie that was so grounded in reality, it is gory as hell towards the end. So, for the performances of whoever the guy and the girl were, they were great. And it was funny. It was one of those movies where I kept laughing, cringing, and just going, all right, that's why I get that son of a bitch. So, people got to check out Almost Mercy. I haven't heard anyone talk about this movie this year.
No, you're the first. I saw you tweet about it, and it's another one of those ones that I didn't get to.
Yeah, you can get it. I mean, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
If you got a chance, watch it because it is worth it, man.
Again, see, I'm happy we're doing this because
we're building up more lists.
Yeah, we should like revisit this in a month.
You're like,
all right, what did I think of your movies, and what did you? You'd be like, Wyrmwood was the dumbest thing I ever saw, you idiot.
Gravy.
Yeah. All right.
Number 8.
My next one. When I saw the trailer for this, I was like, oh, sign me up. And then I watched it, and I'm like, this is a freak. This is how you do it. This is a good old-fashioned horror movie. I felt like this was something that I would have watched in the 80s on VHS. Girl House.
Oh, yeah.
We watched it early in the year, or I did.
Yep, you did, yep.
First of all, like, I saw the trailer, and the girls are just ridiculously hot.
That's the part I remember most when you describe the movie.
But it's... all these girls live in this house, and they do, like, internet porn shows and stuff, like webcam stuff. And this one guy realizes that his, like, high school crush, he discovers her. But also this crazy dude, like, is obsessed with these girls, and then when one disses him or something, he tracks them down, puts on, like, a blow-up doll mask almost looking thing, and starts killing them one by one. Yeah. And so it's like stalking the chicks, creative kills, oh my god, he's behind you kind of stuff. That just, again, I was just like, yeah, I'm a horror fan, and when I sit down to watch something, I want this, but this is always so difficult to get. Like, Girls in Sorority Row with frickin' like, was a piece of crap.
Yes.
But this was like, yeah. Again, it ain't Citizen Kane, but like if you like horror fan, you want to rent something good. Girl House, I loved it. I thought it was a fun movie. Eye candy, good kills, a lot of fun, good rental. Cheers to them.
I took your advice and I watched Girl House, but I was on Pornhub at the time and it was way different. But I liked it.
You can't go wrong. It's just a good title.
I liked it a lot. All right, my number 8 was an actual theatrical release.
Ooh.
By Eli Roth, which is actually, people don't talk about it, it's his second movie of 2015. The first one being Knock Knock.
Hey.
Which is howlingly funny because Keanu Reeves acting. It's maybe the worst acting performance I've seen all year. But the Green Inferno, I think most people know, it is a movie about a group of dumbass college activists who go down to the rainforest and they're going to stop the cutting down of the rainforest and then happen to stumble upon a tribe of cannibals. It's funny in parts. I was surprised at the gore. Like, that kind of gore I could see, on Netflix or something like that, but for that to be in the theater, I was kind of impressed.
The gore in that movie is great.
It stars his lovely wife. Again, she was also in Knock Knock, and she's nice to look at. Nothing wrong there. But I just thought it was cool, man. I like watching people slowly get hacked apart and eaten. Maybe that's a fetish of mine.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those ones that I snuck in at the end because it didn't come on like pay-per-view till a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed it when it was in the theaters, and Adam Caesar told us to see it, and because The Green Inferno is the movie that's inside the movie Cannibal Holocaust.
Isn't it the forest?
I thought that was the idea. This was supposed to be the movie they were talking about in Cannibal Holocaust.
I thought in the Green Inferno, the area, I mean, in the Cannibal Holocaust, the forest that they go to is called the Green Inferno. I could be wrong.
Who knows? I'm not really big on my cannibal lore.
Yeah, really. I enjoyed I enjoyed Green Inferno. Great kills. The kid from Spy Kids.
Which one was the kid from Spy Kids?
He's the one who's taking the leak and the spider comes up to him. He's
the one
who throws up in the plane when the plane is spinning.
That was really gross.
I thought great kills.
You had to bring that up because I hate flying, and I hate any movie that shows accurate depictions of planes going down, and that just turned my stomach.
That scene, he throws up, and it goes upside down, so I'm like, they must have had a set that they spun and he must have crap it is like, wait till you get upside down, then release,
Ugh.
Good stuff.
It didn't look CGI'd either, so.
Well, my next movie has cannibals in it.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of cannibals this year.
Yeah. It's a Western.
Oh, okay.
Bone Tomahawk.
Love that movie.
I saw Hateful Eight, and I saw this. I like this better than Hateful Eight.
Really?
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Hateful Eight's it's a Tarantino movie.
This is the likable four.
It's got Kurt Russell. It's got Matthew Fox, who's awesome in it.
Yeah.
What's his name from Watchmen? And
it's got the pretty guy from The Conjuring and Insidious.
Yeah. I forget his name. And then the older guy, he's great too. It paces itself. You got to have patience.
Yeah, like a Western.
It's like a Western, but these villains, the troglodytes, which are these like savage, like just terrifying. You want to call them like Native Americans or Indians or whatever, but they're not even that.
No, the Indians wouldn't even claim them.
Yeah. So, and they have that thing that makes this call, this terrifying call, and when it gets rough, it gets freaking rough, and it's a Western with horror kills.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And so
Sam Peckinpah couldn't equal what was going on in there.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, again, this is going to be one of those ones that 9 out of 10 people are going to love it, and there's going to be people like, that movie sucked, it was boring, whatever. I really enjoyed it.
Look, anybody who says it sucks and is boring, I pity them.
Yeah.
I pity them because they have missed out on on Western cinema. To me, it was a lot like The Searchers.
It is The Searchers.
Like, the Indians have captured somebody, now we got to go get a little posse and go get them. And I said in my write-up, I said they were The Searchers meets The Hills Have Eyes.
Yes. That's exactly it.
With some great performances.
Kurt Russell.
Good. Wow, my God. He's real grisly, man. He is beyond Snake Plissken now.
Great.
Well, my number 7, we already talked about, was Creep. With Duplass. And I will say now, the 2 phrases that lock this in for me are Tubby Time. He's naked in the tub, bathing his imaginary child. And Peach Fuzz. Just... Peach Fuzz is a werewolf, which is his... Dude, it's this complex werewolf mask that he puts on that he says he got from the dollar store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, What the hell dollar store is selling that kind of mask? I want to go to that dollar
it's
store.
It's ridiculous and kind of terrifying at the same time.
There's a song, there's a Peach Fuzz song and dance. It is so disturbing. So, it made number 7 on my list.
Found footage done right.
Yeah, really. That was really good found footage.
All right, the next movie on my list is one of the last movies I saw, and I had to add it.
Number 6.
Number 6 is The Voices. Ryan Reynolds is in this movie.
Deadpool.
Anna Kendrick.
Oh,
I can't remember the. There's a really pretty girl who was in Byzantium, the older vampire. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Right.
Who actually, her performance is amazing because Ryan Reynolds is this like soft-spoken, awkward guy who works in a factory. And he's very friendly, and he's got a crush on this girl, and takes her out on a date. And it turns out his dog and his cat talk to him.
Right.
And his cat is telling him to kill people and stuff. And he accidentally kills this girl on their date. And this is all in the trailer, so.
Right.
And shit goes bad from there, south from there.
And who hasn't had that happen to them on a date?
What happens is it looks like from the trailer it's going to be like a wacky comedy about a serial killer. But really, the light is really light. And the dark side of this movie is really dark because basically you see the world as he sees it when he's off his medication and then when he's on it. And when he's on it and you start to see what the real world is, it's scary.
Oh, awesome, man. Now you're talking about it. I remember seeing Coming Attraction. That I wanted to see that.
And so I watched it the other night and I'm like, it killed me because I'm like, you know something? This time next year, if it's Halloween, and I got to pick between what am I going to watch again, I'd consider buying this movie. I enjoyed it so much. It's like I said, it's got this wacky comedy and this dark side. And when you think about what they're doing, I think they tastefully addressed some things,
right?
But purely entertaining the whole time. And Ryan Reynolds knocks it out of the park. But the reason this girl, I give her credit, is she, in some scenes, is acting as herself, and then in other scenes, she's like it's just her head in a refrigerator talking to him. And so she's really channeling what this killer, like when your hallucination is talking to you, it's a different character than the actual girl. You know what I mean? It's his imagination. It's his ideal version of her or whatever. So, like, she switches from back and forth really well. Like, I gave her credit. Like, she really pulled it off.
Dude, I remember now I wanted to see that, and I just totally forgot it. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
Well, my number 6 is a little higher than where you put it. Bone Tomahawk.
Western horror. With where to put it.
I'm a guy who wrote a Western horror myself, so true. Of course I'm going to like it. Could have been crappily done. I probably would have liked it. So that's my number 6. We don't need to go into that any further.
Yeah.
We are now entering the top 5 zone.
The top 5. This is another movie I just saw the other day. And this one I had no doubt. I'm watching it. There's cannibalistic things in this movie too.
What the hell?
He Never Died with Henry Rollins.
Who looks like our friend Shane.
Yes. I heard a lot about this movie, and then I had the opportunity the other day to watch it, and I mean, immediately I'm like, this movie's great. Henry Rollins is so deadpan in it, and it's a funny movie, but it's also really dark.
Right.
It's really well written. He's basically an immortal guy, and he eats people.
Nice.
But there's a lot going on. He just wants to be left alone, but the world keeps knocking at his door, and violence comes with it.
It sounds like his Henry Rollins' real life.
Yes. And so I'm watching it, and when it sort of unfolds as to who he is and what's going on, I was just like, this is a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Like I would tell everybody, rent it right now. It's really good.
How was the soundtrack? Did they have any throwbacks to classic punk or anything, or no?
No. It's got actually a pretty good soundtrack though. But I was looking to see if they were going to do that.
Right.
And they didn't. But Henry Rollins is so good in this movie.
Henry Rollins has a 1,000-yard stare, and he's a passionate guy. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten more jobs.
He's part of the reason. You're glued to him the whole time.
Right.
Really good.
Yeah, there was a big write-up about it in Wyrmwood magazine. I was like, oh, I got to see this movie. So I saw it too late. My list was already locked in.
Yeah, well, if we had done this a week earlier, I wouldn't have seen
Yeah.
it.
I'm not changing it now, damn it. My number 5 is starring one of my favorite classic horror actresses, Barbara Crampton. It is We Are Still Here. And this is a ghost movie. And it takes I'm so jaded when it comes to ghosts at this point. It takes something to creep me out. And I think the fact that it had an older cast, there's 2 couples. One of them is Larry Fessenden. The other is Lisa Marie, who used to be married to Tim Burton. We saw her at Schiller Theater, I think.
Yep.
It's Barbara Crampton and her husband. They move into this house. It's a big house. Of course, it's a big kind of old, creepy house. And there's something definitely in the basement. These ghosts are like burned up dead people. And they are terrifying. The basement looks like the basement of the house I grew up in. So immediately I was like, oh my God, that looks familiar. And they just kind of lurk around in there. This isn't your traditional ghost story because it's not like the most they can do is scream, get out, or maybe toss a ball your way. I mean, they can really interact with their environment. And this is the second movie on my list this year where the third act goes apeshit. I mean, it starts out as this study in a haunted house movie trope, and it turns into something completely insane. And I thought it was great. It was jarring. Like, that transition was very jarring.
And that made it for me.
And then I was like, oh, this is like a whole different movie. I like both movies. So I was in, man. I love that movie. In fact, that's when I want to buy that movie. So
I had this movie on my list, and it got bumped, and it killed me, because like something like Hidden is a great movie, and I'm like, wow, We Are Still Here, though. What I liked about We Are Still Here is it's got a retro feel. It takes place in the 70s. But it also feels like it feels like one of those movies you watched in the 70s, or like an older movie. Then, the once that third act takes off, because the first couple acts you're like, okay, there's some good stuff, there's some but it's a good movie. But then once that goes on, you're like, okay, game on. This is
And I saw that just after I met Barbara Crampton, so I was like, I was in a Crampton kind of mood.
Yeah, she was really nice.
She was super sweet. So that's my top. That was like number 2 before I really sat down and put the list together. In my head, that was number 2, but then I saw a few other movies like, gotta bump it a little.
I had originally bumped it up over some other stuff, but then, like I said, once I saw a couple of these other movies, like, I gotta make a cut somewhere.
Right.
And so that again, it'd be on a top 20, but it didn't make top 13.
So what is your number 4?
Number 4. Again, maybe 4 is too high. Maybe 4 is too low for this movie. You got to see this freaking movie. Deathgasm.
The metal horror movie?
The heavy metal horror movie. It's basically like Evil Dead and Spinal Tap and Bill and Ted. And one of the reasons you need to see it is it's batshit gore. It's really clever. But there's a scene with a fight involving a dildo that is one of the funniest things you're ever going to see. And once this happens, I go to myself, this is on my top 5 movies. You have to see this movie. So it's another one of those ones that I just watched it and went, that was worth the money. What a good time I had there. Drop what you're doing.
I'd heard about it, had no desire to see it. Then I heard Bloody Good Horror talk about it, and I was like, they actually kind of liked it. I'm like, well, if they like it, I kind of have the same sensibility, even though they're youngins. So it's on my list. I know I have it on my Amazon to watch list.
Yeah, you got to watch it. It gets better as it goes too.
And it's got a great title.
Yeah, and actually that's one of those ones that Walmart is now like taming the title and they're released to a heavy metal horror movie or some crap.
Screw you, Walmart. And the title makes me think of Phantasm, which now makes me think of Alistair. Is it Alistair Scrim? I got it right. Who just passed away, the tall man. So, my number 4, and I was surprised this movie did not make your list, is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's The Visit. Another found footage movie done right. This was a shock to me because I went in here with a low expectations. I'm thinking I'm going to get Lady in the Water and, the worst found footage movie I can
The Village
feast my eyes on. It's actually kind of cool. It's mom is sending her son and daughter on a train to go stay with grandma and grandpa, and they've never met grandma and grandpa because mom is estranged from them. She has reservations about it. Alison Hahn is the mom, who's awesome and everything. When they get there, grandma and grandpa seem like the sweetest old couple you've ever met in your life, and man, as soon as the sun goes down, they take a turn. The first time when they're in that room, and grandpa tells them, don't go out of the room after 10 o'clock or whatever, and they hear shuffling and scratching, and they dare to open the door, and grandma's naked, just scratching on the walls in the hallway. Oh my God. It was hysterical. That's the thing. It was a perfect blending of comedy and horror. And the two kids were really good. Even the obnoxious rapping white kid, he was good. So they make it believable. You start really feeling for them that they're trapped with psycho grandma and grandpa. And there's something that is done with a diaper in this movie that will live in you for as long as you're on this earth.
That's what kind of kicks the movie up a notch.
Oh my God!
Great. I'll tell you again. It killed me to not put this on because I was happy to see M. Night, get a hit, get back in the saddle.
Yep.
Great movie. I say watch it. I don't know. It was on the list for a while, and then when I had to make a cut, I was like, you know what? It came down to I'd probably watch some of these other a second time before, but again. Somebody said, "Oh, The Visit." Oh, you got to see The Visit. You got to see it. It's
really good.
Good twist.
Twister.
All right, my number 3.
Da-da-da.
The only movie I bought the Blu-ray of.
Ooh.
And so I said to myself, this has to be in the top 5 because I actually purchased it, and we'll watch this probably the most out of everything.
Right.
It's What We Do in the Shadows. The unequivocal horror comedy.
Comedy
horror. The most well-done vampire comedy you're going to see. It's so clever.
Wait, are you saying it's better than Love at First Bite?
Why don't you marry a nice Jewish girl? It's the guys from Flight of the Conchords. It's got the best quote of the year. We're werewolves, not swearwolves. It's that improv thing they do. It's like a documentary. It just, I mean, if you're a vampire fan, they nail so many vampire tropes so well that there was other good vampire movies like Blood-Sucking Bastards, the Office Space vampire comedy.
Right.
Great movie. If we had 20 slots, it would have made. But this movie is like, there's a parody of the Lost Boys with "You're eating worms." That every time I watch that scene, I'm dying.
Yeah, it's kind of like if the real world was populated with vampires. This is what you'd get.
They're trying to get in a nightclub, but they have to be invited in, and they're trying to get the bouncer.
It's funny because I watched this movie on vacation after drilling beers all day long on the lake. I was like, oh, let me sit and watch this. I figured I'd fall asleep to it, and man, it kept me up because I was laughing so much.
I'm a vampire fan and a Flight of the Conchords fan, so they couldn't have. I'm the direct.
Yeah. You were the demographic there.
Yeah. And the Nosferatu guy in the basement was just awesome.
Oh my God, it was so creepy too. That was funny.
What's your 3?
My 3 is The Final Girls, which is a movie that I just saw.
Good flick.
Another one I think Brant told us about seeing. This is...
I think I told you guys about this one.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, because this movie, it's about a girl. It's Vera Farmiga's sister, who was in the first season of American Horror Story.
Yeah, she's good.
So her mom was a scream queen, starred in a bad '80s slasher movie, and then died in a car accident. So now it's the anniversary of this movie, and the daughter with her friends goes to see it, and magically gets transported into the movie. So they're in it. It's funny. Dude, the black guy was fucking... Every time I looked at him, I laughed. He had that...
And the other guy who's from
haircut.
Workaholics and Modern Family.
Oh my God, he was so
He
funny.
is hilarious.
So funny. I was like, because the people in the movie can only play according to how they're scripted. So the horny girl, they have to like tape her up so she doesn't take off her clothes and start dancing around, because that's the way she's written.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's gory, and the most amazing thing is it's sad. I mean, we were watching this and I got choked up at one point, because it's the chance for this girl to be with her mother, who is her mother, but she's a character, and she can't really tell her that she's her daughter. Man, they just threw everything in there. I thought it surprised me how well they put that all together.
There's some moments in it where there, things in the movie that you're just, oh, that was really well done. Like when the words show up and they have to step over them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, when the car runs over the words and stuff. It was really cool. So check that out.
Yeah, no, that would have made a top 20 list, but I pushed it down a little bit.
That's all right.
But I
push those feelings down, Jack.
Yeah, that was it. It was the humor wasn't as biting as some of the other stuff. They got a little sappy, but it's a great movie. It's so well done. I loved it. And if you're a horror fan, it's a love letter to us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I grew up on those slasher flicks, so it was cool.
All right, number 2.
The Deuce. The Deuce.
This is the number 2 on my list, but I really think it's the best movie on my list. But since it's a little less of a horror movie than my number 1, I've made it number 2 only for that reason. But this is a tremendous movie. Ex Machina. A movie about the artificial...
See, I missed it, but I figured if I did, I wouldn't put it on my list, only because to me it was sci-fi. But if you think there's enough horror in it for the list, man, I
saw it on so many other horror lists, and there's a whole man playing God thing going on. That Frankenstein and his monster, Blade Runner, and then there's some stuff that happens at the end that is, or even throughout it, that there's a horror thing in there. So it's a sci-fi movie with horror undertones.
Right.
And it's just such a good movie.
It looks
the
tremendous.
Dialogue is great. What's going on? Oscar Isaac is so good in it. And it's basically him and this other guy and then this girl who's the robot, who's like the hot robot. And just the questions that it brings up is, I mean, you talk about falling in love with a girl like in
Falling in love again.
Like this guy, it's like it's a freaking robot, but you're like, yeah, I think I'd be like digging her too. Like, it's such a good. You just got to see it. Whether you want to be like, oh, that's not really a horror movie. Big deal. It's my list. You make a list and take it off your list. You see this movie. It's a really, really good movie.
Well, that's perfect because my number 2 is similar to that. It's Spring.
Ah, there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Here's another movie with a girl whose the performance is so good that despite the fact that you know that she's turning into a different monster every night, some Lovecraftian monster, sometimes she's a werewolf, sometimes she's like an insectoid thing. I mean, you go, I think I'd hang out with her. Even though she's probably going to kill me. It's set in Italy. It's shot in Italy. It's gorgeous. And it's 2 people. Really, it's her and the American guy that she runs into, and they kind of She's very forward when she first meets him. She wants to have sex with him like within 2 seconds of meeting him. Later on, you come to find out why she was that way. But she is not what she appears. She has an accent. She's a German girl, but her accent is really weird. And he talks about it. He's like, "Where are you from?" And she's like, "Well, I'm from everywhere."
Yeah.
And in different scenes, she'll change her accent. She'll, in the middle of a sentence, she'll be a little Germanic and a little Spanish, and maybe end with a little bit of a French twist. So I think her performance was actually, her performance was probably the best I've seen this year. I think she was just absolutely phenomenal. And it was a freaking love story extraordinaire. If you're a horror fan and you want to find something that will, like, make your heart beat a little bit, you want to get a little bit of emotion, maybe you're tired of seeing chick flicks, impress your girl and say, "Hey, I'm going to show you a chick flick."
It's the chick flick for horror fans.
Ignore the part about the girl like changing into these disgusting monsters every now and then. I thought it was so good that literally it's the only movie I've seen in years where I kept dreaming about it. I mean, for a week afterward, it was every other night I was dreaming about that movie. So it stayed with me, and I bought it immediately, and I'll be watching it again actually probably very soon. Nice. Really good.
Yeah, my tweet after I saw that was, "This puts the love in Lovecraft."
Exactly. Really,
yeah, great movie. Excellent. It would be on my top 20. But you have to see it. You got to at least watch it once. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It's a little slow in some places because it's a love story.
Yeah,
you got to have patience with it. But there are some moments like when they're in church.
Oh,
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, just good flick. So yeah,
I saw a zombie shooting up heroin.
Yeah.
It would have been my number one if not for on this list. The only time we agree is with the number one slot, and this movie is my favorite movie since The Thing.
Why don't you unveil it?
Look, anybody who's followed my blog knows it is It Follows.
Ta-da!
Oh my God, I love this movie. I have it back here somewhere.
You unequivocally love this movie, and I really liked it a lot. I could not imagine not making it the number one movie because this movie is the poster child for this year. It's the Babadook from last year. It's the movie everybody's talking about, and like it or not, you need to see it. And the whole sexually transmitted curse and monster thing, it's just so original.
Yes.
And there's a sense of dread in this movie because you never know where the hell it's coming and what's it going to look like. So it's like when I saw The Sixth Sense for the first time. You're like, where's the next ghost? Oh my God! You're like, wait, there's somebody back there. Run!
Yeah, no, I think the best part about this is if you get the curse, you know that something is going to come after you. It changes its appearance, and no one else can see it but you. So even though you can surround yourself with well-intentioned friends, they can't help you. And I thought the musical score was phenomenal. This movie, to me, I feel like John Carpenter actually part of his soul passed away and just went into the body of the director of this movie.
The look and the sound of this movie was such a tip of the cap to Carpenter.
The very opening, and it was intentional. He used the same kind of lens to shoot this neighborhood, and it looks like the neighborhood in Halloween.
It looks like Haddonfield, yeah.
Yeah, and the music has that kind of like... So it's like that relentless, like, when it needs to get you, and your heart is like going... it's in syncopation with the music. It's so weird how they did that, but it is... Like I said, it's my favorite movie since The Thing. And it's nothing like The Thing, but...
Nothing like The Thing, but it's like you like this movie more than I do, but that's not discounting how much I liked it. But like I said, it's a polarizing movie. There's people who hate it, but it's got to be number one because if you're going to watch one horror movie from 2015, which one should you watch? You got to watch It Follows. It's now in the canon. Like there's certain movies just like, oh, you got to must see this whether you like it or not. You know.
Hey, I took my mom to see this movie in the theaters the first week it came out because I'd heard the hype and I said, well, let me see. And she loved the movie. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, our friend Jerry, who did the logo for us, he's going to watch this movie and flip out because he hated that movie.
Yeah, Jerry, you're dead to us. No.
He's entitled to his opinion. That's what makes this fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? My list and your list are totally different.
It's amazing because we're so similar. But our lists are so different. It's crazy.
We saw different movies, and then, like you said, it's like I have like Final Girls. I can't tell you to not see that. I loved Spring. It's funny. A lot of the movies you saw, I saw before you, and vice versa. I think.
Right.
But it's like I'm like, yeah, I really like that. But then I saw, you got to see Hidden. Like I'm glad it's on my list because you're gonna watch it and be like, oh yeah, that was. I didn't expect that.
You know what the cool thing is? This episode we just gave people 23 movie recommendations.
Yeah, we just like we're closing in on an hour, so we should.
Oh my God, this is a record setter right here.
Yeah, it is, but this is a damn good one. So, all right,
2015 was a good year.
The stuff that didn't make our list can be our next few episodes for movie reviews.
Yes, the Lazarus Effect, Turkey,
Area 51.
Oh my God, that was so bad. I forgot. Yeah, alien movies. I forgot about that. That was suckfest.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Good flick.
Gotta check that one. And for 2016, I have already seen The Forest.
Oh, any good?
It's harmless.
Okay.
Not that bad. It's not that good. Could have been better.
All right, save it for the next show.
It's written in the book. We'll see if it makes top 13 next year.
All right, well, that's good job. We both got more stuff to watch now. That's all we need.
Woo! We sure do.
Good job. All right, so hopefully next time I'll see you in person.
Yes, exactly. Got to clean up the lair. I'm on the Monster Men set right here, everybody.
Studio 13. All right, brother. See you next time on
Monster Men.